Okay, so hi. I'm back with like another sit down-ish kind video. Sit down-ish kind. A sit down kind of video. Yeah. Um Why are there always noises when I try to film? Today, I wanted to cover the topic of... Oh my god, please stop. So yeah, today I wanted to cover the topic of, I guess, tertiary education, kind of very broadly. So both junior college and poly, and I guess after O-levels, because today is, well, the day I'm filming this is the day after release of O-level results. So wait, let me close the door. Okay, much better. Today is the day after the release of the O-level results, and I've already graduated from junior college. I went to junior college on the junior college path. So I think I just kind of wanted to make a video and like, I guess, share my experience a bit, because I think it could be helpful in the sense where, at least when I was trying to make a decision, well, several decisions regarding junior college and tertiary education, I was quite unsure, and maybe like I wasn't really that close to a lot of my seniors, so I didn't, and I have no older siblings and no one or any cousins like that who are older than me and who've already gone on to tertiary education, because I'm kind of like the oldest in my family. So I guess didn't really have anyone to ask, and I could ask my parents and that kind of thing, but at the same time I feel like times have changed, and you know, times have changed. It's while their experience is relevant, I feel like it's not exactly the same as what we have now. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video in case anyone needed it. Okay, this is such a rambly long intro, and let's just get on into the video. I have like a list of things to cover. So I think the first big thing to cover is whether to choose going to junior college or poly. And I think, at least personally, the reason why I chose going to junior college is because I didn't really have a clear sense of what I wanted to do at that time. So, not that I do now, but I didn't really have a clear sense of what I wanted to do. And I feel like going to poly means that you already have to pick the course that you want to do, and that kind of sets you on that direction, which I think is good if you already know what you want to do, like career-wise and for your future. But for people who maybe are not so certain, personally I would advise going to junior college or like JC instead, because it offers a more holistic sense. I think it's also, I feel like the jump between maybe like secondary school and JC is still a jump, but it's maybe less big of a jump as compared to going from secondary school to poly, because you know, you still, JC and secondary school, you still have like, you still have regular schools, school timings, you still have school uniforms, you still got like CCA and that kind of stuff. Whereas poly is a bit more already to that uni kind of style, where it follows like lectures, and different days you have different lectures, you don't have to wear a uniform, you know, it's more tutorial class based, I guess. But honestly, I think the whole myth about, oh, people who aren't smart and who can't study, that's when they go poly, I don't think that's true, because I know a lot of my friends and a lot of people who are very, very smart, but they choose to go poly because they already know what kind of career that they want to pursue in the future. And it's like, I think poly has its advantages over JC in the sense where you really get a lot more hands-on experience, and you get a lot more opportunities for, let's say, like internships and that kind of thing. So if you want your first introduction into that career that you're interested in, then I think poly is a good choice. Poly has more advantages in some fields over JC. Like I would say a lot of like media industry wise, going to poly might be better because you get a lot more hands-on experience. Because like for example, if I wanted to do film production and that kind of thing, it's quite hard for me as an A-level student to go and apply to universities because I don't have a portfolio, unless I was like, let's say in film society when I was in JC, that kind of thing. So I don't have a portfolio, I don't have any kind of real life experience, so trying to get into a film school university would be quite difficult. Whereas for a poly student, you've already had classes where you've had to make and film things, so I guess in that sense it's easier. So yeah, okay, moving on. How to pick a JC or poly? So I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say I can't I don't know, I didn't go to poly, so, and personally I'm not very sure on the differences between the different polys. We only have 3 polys in Singapore anyway. 3, right? I think it's 3. And so I would say first and foremost, at least for JC wise, is thinking about the school environment. Like first thing to consider is like with your score, what you can get into. And okay, like this is like sudden random insert here, but it doesn't matter what your score is. Like if you did badly, then like don't beat yourself up over it, and if you did well, also don't get too complacent over it. Cause I don't know, I would say that it doesn't really, it matters to a certain extent what school you go to, but beyond choosing the school is also about how well you use the opportunities that you're given in that school. Because in any school, right, you can do a lot of things, you can meet a lot of different people, you can achieve a lot of different things. So just be open, like, you know, like don't close yourself off thinking, oh, I'm going to such a bad school, you know, my life is ruined, my life is over. It's okay, it's just as much as I don't know, as old as I sound now, it's just O-levels, like life goes on. Okay, so for JC wise, I would say picking a school, so yeah, looking at what realistically you can get into, and also I guess what kind of school culture or what kind of school environment you prefer. Because as you know, like every school has a different kind of school culture, like different kind of students go to it, and there's a, you know, like a mix of factors because of like school environment and like the school curriculum and like the general, like I don't know, like the general type of students that go to that school, so has built this school culture. Okay, it's the kind of thing where, let's say, okay, I give you certain scenarios. Let's say if you're let's say you did well and you know you're like, you got your pick of schools kind of thing, and you're deciding whether to go to, let's say, a top tier school or a mid tier school kind of thing. Of course, personally, I was lucky enough to be in that position and kind of have my choice of schools, but having a lot, like being able to get into all the schools doesn't necessarily, I don't know, doesn't necessarily mean that it's easier for you to pick, because actually I find like more options makes it harder. Like, as privileged as that sounds. Yeah, so I was kind of like deciding whether I wanted to go to, let's say, top tier school like Hwa Chong, RJ, BJ, that kind of thing, or like a mid tier kind of level. Maybe I was considering Nanyang, what was I saying? Nanyang, CJ, maybe AC, and like a few other schools. Okay, but then part of it, right, I also feel you need to consider location wise, because let's say if your house is very far from where the school is, I don't know lah, like, I mean, it's a personal choice of whether you really want to travel, right? But I can tell you that it's really it's really super sian to travel from, like, let's say if you live like I don't know, freaking Woodlands or something, then you want to travel all the way to like Tampines JC. That's gonna kill you, because you gotta take into account that you're traveling every single day, like to and fro from school. So if your journey to school takes like 1 hour and your journey back takes another hour, that's 2 hours of your day just gone. And in the long haul, like once CCA starts and you know you start ending late, right, it really takes a toll on you. So I feel like location is quite an important thing to it's not the, I wouldn't say it's the most important, but I would say it's something that you definitely have to take into consideration. So yeah, I think that there's also like this there's this idea that, you know, if you go to, like, people go to more name brand schools, like let's say Raffles or Hwa Chong, because they think that you're being given more opportunities there. And I can be the first to say, like, it's true lah. It's really very true that you are offered a lot of things being in such an elite school, as bad as it sounds. But also at the same time, I don't think this necessarily makes it better than other schools, because having more opportunities doesn't necessarily mean that you will get those opportunities. Okay, cause let's say how do I explain it? It's like if you have more opportunities in one school, but at the same time you also have a lot of very smart people who are all also vying for those same opportunities, and it's like, oh, number of opportunities, number of people, then in the end it's like, you know, you're fighting even harder for every opportunity that you get. Whereas let's say in a smaller school, it's true, yes, maybe you have less opportunities, but at the same time you also have less people vying for those opportunities. So in that sense, I feel like after a while it kind of evens out, and it's just like, nah. I think it's also important to consider, like, let's say, I mean, I didn't take any of this, I was just like a normal student, but if you want to do, like, let's say humanities program, music program, or I think they have like, is it like some robotics thing, I don't know, yeah, something like that. So if you are looking into these specific courses, then you should also look into which schools actually offer these courses, or like art, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I would say for JC is like, also pick something that fits your personality, cause I'm sure you already kind of have like a general sense of what the vibe of the school is. But then let's say between a school like Raffles and maybe Hwa Chong, even though they're at the same level, the culture that they have in both schools are very, very different. Why are they doing construction now? But let's say if going to a certain school scares you because of like the rumors you've heard about the type of people who go there, right? I would say don't let it, because yes, the rumors and like the reputation of the school is probably true to a certain extent, but at the same time, in every school there's always a spectrum of people. So like, you shouldn't confine yourself to thinking, oh, there's only one type of person in this school and I don't think I can get along with those type of people. It's like, in any school you're definitely able to find people that you click with and that you are able to get along with. It's true that maybe like in more like in the top tier schools, you do get, I guess in a way, spoon fed a lot of things. Like the material that they give you in terms of like studying material is quite a lot. So going to, let's say, a mid or low level school, you might not be given the same kind of material. But at the same time, I feel like this, like being fed material isn't necessarily a good thing, because it can make you very dependent and over rely on this fed material, so you don't bother to like study on your own. And in any situation, it's give and take, and in the end it really comes down to you and what you feel about the school. I think it's a good idea to go down to open houses. I think this video will probably be like after the open house period though, but hopefully you went down to some open houses and kind of got a sense of the school. But at the same time, don't take what you saw at the open house to be the school itself, because you know, at the open house people are always like a bit more into, but at the same time it's also a bit more crowded, so you might not get that same personalized experience. So it's good to go down and get a vibe of the school, but take it with a pinch of salt lah, that's all I can say. Okay, moving on. This question is like how to pick subject combi. I think this is like one of the main problems that I was struggling with. I can tell, okay, so like in JC, my subject combi was CLEM, so CLEM, which is chemistry, lit, econs and math. And then I took like 4 H2 subjects. So if anyone's unclear, a H2 subject is basically like a full subject, and then a H1 is like kind of like half of that subject. So I would say the most normal, or like most people take 3 H2s and 1 H1 kind of thing. But at least in my school, it was kind of like you were expected to take 4 H2s and then maybe later you could drop 1. But most people in my school took 4. I think it's probably the same in all the top tier schools. It's just like that. I also ended up taking H3 in lit, so maybe H3 is something you want to consider also. I think in terms of subject combi, it would be good to consider what kind of field you want to go into. Like if you know that you want to pursue a career maybe more like science, research, medicine based, business or whatever, might be better for you to take like on the science path. But if you're more inclined towards humanities, so like maybe you're interested in social science or law, or like I don't know, like business or something. I think business could be both, but yeah, that kind of thing, then obviously it's better for you to take an art stream. As you can tell, I'm very indecisive, so I ended up taking a hybrid combi. I would say most people take like, you know, the usual is for science is PCME, BCME, and then for like human arts stream it would be HELM, which is like HELM, is the most common. So yeah, consider what you want to do in the future. But if you don't know, it's also okay lah. Like, you know, you can still, I would say if you don't know, then your next best option is also to just do what you like. I think with some subjects, let's say lit, right, it's quite hard in the sense where people think you cannot score well, right? It's not something that, oh, if you study the material and you like memorize it and like you understand it, that means you will be able to score. So I think some people might be quite hesitant to take those, but I would say if humanities or lit or history or that kind of thing is something that you're interested in, right, it's really worthwhile to do it. Cause I can tell you personally, of like all the subjects I took, right, lit is the subject that I absolutely don't regret taking and that I never once considered dropping. I considered dropping like math, I considered dropping econs, I considered dropping what's that, chem, but I never once thought that, okay, I want to drop lit. Because even though it's true, yeah, like some exams were like, lol, what are you doing, you know, I scored so badly, and sometimes it's really so hard because even though it feels like you understand the book, it doesn't translate in your essays, that kind of thing. But just studying for it, right, studying for lit never really felt like studying. It always felt like I was learning, and I think that really comes down to your enjoyment and your interest in the subject. So yes, definitely pick based on your interest also, because either way, picking based on your interest will lead you down a path that will bring you to a career that you're actually interested in and that you like. Okay, so the next thing I cover is kind of, I guess, like class wise and stuff like that. And maybe if you're from a from a single sex school, it'll be quite weird to suddenly go to, you know, a mixed gender school kind of thing. Personally, I feel like the transition for me wasn't very difficult because my class, our gender ratio was so bad. We had like 19 girls to 5 guys, so it still kind of felt like I was in a girls' school. But I think for other classes it's probably different. I would say because for a lot of the, at least from my hybrid, my combi, there were obviously a lot more girls than guys. But I think for probably the courses where there will be more guys than girls is like PCME or things with like geog. I feel like usually there are more guys in those classes, and then usually all the arts classes there are more girls in those. I mean, I don't know what this says about gender roles, but that's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, you will adapt along the way. It's just like that. Like, it's weird at first, but it gets less weird. Is all I can say. Okay, next question. Oh yeah, all these questions are kind of like I asked my cousin, because my cousin is in like this period now, like trying to pick, like just finish O-level, trying to pick JC or poly kind of thing. And then also like I guess some of my own personal questions that I had before I went to JC. And that is, okay, so the next one is how to study for new subjects. I think some of the new subjects is like GP or econs. I would say GP, I think studying for GP differs for everyone because there's different ways to study. You can either be like super memorized kind, and then you just die memorize like one or like a few topics, and then when it comes out in the exam you keep just choosing questions under those topics. Or another way is that, especially if you're naturally, like you're quite good linguistically already and you have like decent general knowledge, I would say it's just like read more and the usual, just like read more, find out more stats. But at the same time, I would also say a good thing is just to memorize maybe what 1 or 2 stats for like every single topic, and also to pick questions that are right for you. I would say choosing the question right, because like especially for essays and that kind of thing, is the most important part of GP, like, or for like the most important determinant of how well you do in the exam. Don't pick a question just cause you think that you prepared for it and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna do this question. But I think you should pick a question based on like how much you feel for the question. Like when you read it, you're really like, okay, this is actually interesting, I want to write about this, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings that I want to write in the exam on this paper. And I think that will take you far enough. I would say for other subjects, like let's say newer subjects like econs, which most people end up taking, I mean the basics is just to like cover the material that they give you. But beyond that, for me at least, how I studied was just a lot of rewriting and like a lot of like practicing, because after a while, right, the questions are kind of like a bit like the same few ones that come out. So as long as you like keep practicing and like making sure you know the material, it'll be fine lah. Like you can do it. So the other kind of new thing that I think quite a lot of people are worried about is project work, which is PW. And okay, so for me, I was in a group of 4 people, so it's like me and then 3 other people, which actually we had like 1 less member. Like all the other groups in our class, in my class, had like 5 people, then we were only group with 4, and at some times you can really feel the lack of the 4th person. But at the same time, I also feel like having a smaller group could like may have been beneficial in the sense where it's less, I don't know lah, like it's easier to manage the dynamics because it's like less people, so it's like less personalities clashing and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's learning project work is okay lah, like it's really sian at times, but you will get through it. I don't really know how to give advice. I would say advice wise is like to really stay on task. Personally for me, like in my school, I think it wasn't, or at least for under my teacher, it wasn't so bad because she really like gave us like deadlines and like things to do, like that kind of thing. And but then for a few like for other classes in my school under different teachers, or like maybe my friends from other schools, their teachers weren't so like hands-on and were quite like hands-off actually. So in that case, then you really need to be very proactive yourself and make sure that you guys are like on time and like you don't slack off. Like there are periods where okay, like work is, you don't need, like especially maybe during exam periods, then okay, you plan so that you do your project work earlier so that it doesn't end up clashing, and then during that period of so much stress because it's like, oh, both exams and PW at the same time, because it'll be really bad. Okay, but I think politics wise, I think in my group we were lucky because everyone kind of got along and we didn't really have like, I don't know, like let's say, you know, like freeloader, slacker kind of thing. If you do have a freeloader or slacker, I'm sorry for you. Honestly, I think PW is a good opportunity for you to make friends because it's really like you'll be with these people for quite a long amount of time. So if you could get some friends out of it, that'd be good. If not, also just deal with it, like be professional about it lor. Like even if you don't like the person, you guys just gotta get the work done, and it just has to be like that. Don't get sucked into the drama of the group. And if there's like any drama, let's say, oh, you know, like sometimes you feel like one person is slacking or like one person is being too domineering in the group, right? You gotta confront it early. Like don't let it stew for so long. If they're too bossy, just like, hey, chill a bit, like, you know, well, what do you think? Like you ask someone else kind of thing. So don't let them overpower the conversation and take the group project in a direction that you don't like. In terms of slackers, I think first of all you should try to tell the person like, hey, we really don't think that you're putting in your work, because I mean it could be that maybe they got something going on at home and you know they can't focus right now, or if they're really just slacking, they just gotta be like, hey, what the heck, man. You know, you just have to deal with the dynamics of the group. I think that's the key to having a good project. Yeah. Last area that I'll touch on in this video, at least because this video is already so long, is CCA. CCA is quite a big part of JC life, I would say, because I think that's where you have the opportunity to make a lot of friends. So for me, I was actually in 2 CCAs. I was in the Photographic Society and Interact. Interact is kind of like a CIP club, like you do like community work, and then obviously photog is photog. Okay, so for CCAs, I would say first off, don't be afraid to try out for things, especially if, I know for a lot of people, let's say if it's something that you haven't done before, like let's say you're from, I don't know, you're from like Chinese orchestra when you're in secondary school, then suddenly in JC you're like, hey, I want to do track, you know, but then you're thinking, oh, is that jump too big? I would say don't be afraid to try out for new things, because in JC actually a lot of people do change CCAs, especially a lot of like non-sports people suddenly like they want to do sports in JC, or like sports people in secondary school suddenly are like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, and they do like non-sport stuff. So pick based on your interest, because I think if let's say you pick something that you don't like, right, and you enter that CCA, obviously you're going to meet a bunch of people that maybe you might not get along with, because they're all people who like this thing that you don't like, you know. Whereas if you go into a CCA where you're all interested in the same thing, you are able to, I don't know, it's like easier for you to connect. It's probably like more like-minded people also. Okay, for me, like, cause I took 2 CCAs, I would say, I don't know lah, I think maybe I do regret a bit taking double CCAs, cause it was really quite xiong, and I felt like in both CCAs I couldn't interact with as many people as I wanted to, because I was like spreading myself so thin over both CCAs, especially cause in photo I was like the president, so I had like a lot in terms of exco stuff. There was a lot of stuff to do. So I guess, yeah, I didn't really get, I feel like part of me is sad now because I didn't get a chance to maybe interact and connect with as many people as I wanted to, or as I could have if I had only just committed myself to one. But at the same time, I feel like if you can handle it, you can take 2 CCAs. Like, it's still manageable. Like, sometimes it does feel like death, but okay lah, if you're interested in it, just go for it. Yeah, so CCA wise, I think there's nothing much I can say besides pick something you like. Oh yeah, why would you commit yourself to something that you're not interested in? Also, but okay, another thing I would say is that to consider how much you like how much time you have to commit. Because let's say if you're someone who you already have a lot of outside classes, like you already take a lot of extracurricular stuff, you already take a lot of tuition maybe, so in terms of time wise, you might not want to commit yourself to a CCA that requires a lot of, you know, commitment and a lot of training or that kind of thing. Be prepared to commit yourself to whichever CCA you join, because that's quite important. If you're already in it, I think you should try to just put your best foot forward and go from there. Coming full circle, right, to the start of this conversation, it's just what kind of tertiary education experience that you want for yourself. I think really take a day or two, sleep on it, you know, think about what you really want out of the experience, what you want in life. And I know it's not easy to make a decision now, and you probably don't really have a clear idea, but all I can say is that there's no right or wrong decision. There's only the best decision that you can make at this point in time with the information that you have. You know, you'll never really know what your experience is gonna be like until you go into that school. And even if after you go into that school and you're like, oh, you regret, oh, I should have gone to somewhere else, right? There's no point thinking about that, because it's like, there's like, you can't say for sure that just because you went to this school, that's why you had a bad experience, or if you had gone to another school, you could have had a better experience. Like, I think that in any situation, you just have to make the best of what you can and know that there's nothing to regret, or there's only things that you can change going forward. Really trust your instincts and what you feel is right. If you have, I think it's natural to have doubts about the entire, like, any decision that you make, but when it comes down to it, if you can make peace with the decision that you have made, it's the right choice. Yeah, okay, I guess that's kind of it. Maybe I'll make another video if I suddenly think of more things to say, or like if there's more questions to ask. But yeah, for now, that's it. I hope that this video was helpful in any sense, and I hope that whoever watches this, you'll have a good experience in junior college, because it's very, very exciting. Like, as scary as it is an exciting change, and it can be a good change for a lot of people. Maybe if you had a lot of, I don't know, bad history in the past with your secondary school or something, or even if you had good, I think JC is just another, or poly also, it's just another opportunity for you to make something new, make something exciting. That's it. I hope you have a good experience in whichever school you choose to go to. And in the words of is it PM Lee? I don't know, like one of the ministers who said it, all schools are good schools. And I truly believe that to a certain extent, from like the bottom of my heart. Like, don't, all propaganda aside, any place you go to can be a good place if you make it. So make the best of your situation, make friends, be happy, live your life, and know that there's a long way to go, but it's okay because you'll make it. Okay, this got real sappy. Okay, I don't know how to end this. It's already been such a cheesy long ass video. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. Okay, bye then.